Hello and welcome to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
So a couple of weeks ago we looked at
And
some
don't
skin
forget
tones,
to click
some fairer
subscribe.
skin tones. Now obviously there are darker skin tones, there's blacks to bronzes, light bronzes, yellow tones. There's fair skin tones which we actually touched, and we talked about Naples yellow, white, a little bit of blue, some burnt sienna and some phthalo red, etc. Today I want to look at the black, the bronze tones, and the palette that I've got here for the tones range basically, skin tones basically range from bronzes and black to naked, say Native American tones, something like that. Create a wide variety of skin tones basically. So we're looking across a broad spectrum of black to bronze tones. So basically raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, some alizarin crimson and white is where we're looking at. So let's get our raw sienna. There we go. So we've got a lovely tone already, just raw sienna, and you can add a little bit of white to that to lighten the tone down a touch. There we go. So just by playing around with a little bit of white there, we can get a lighter tone of color. And if we add some burnt umber to that, we can get these two colors to merge together, looking quite nice. We can get this wonderful tone of color. There we are. So we're looking at the bronze tones then. You should never mix paint, by the way, with a brush. I'm just doing it because it's just easier for me. So let's just get that bronze tone there. Let's keep adding this. Let's keep adding this burnt umber to that, and you can see that we're getting these tones already. So now to darken that down again, we need some ultramarine blue. So we're adding ultramarine blue now to the burnt umber, and that's taken into a virtual black type of color. So we're bordering on the black spectrum a little bit. Let's just add a little bit of white just to show you. It's a wonderful type of color. There we go, wonderful type of color. So let's just add a little bit more ultramarine blue to that now, and let's darken that tone around again. This will make a wonderful grey tone as well. So as I said, if you add a bit of white to that, you can see that we're going into the grey area. So it's going quite black really, but that's as greys go, that's quite a nice grey anyway. Look at that. See? So basically all we're looking at the moment is just the raw sienna, a little bit of white if you wanted to, the raw sienna, mix in more burnt umber into that, burnt umber, and then we keep adding the ultramarine blue then to that, which is going to darken it really well, and get that down till we get a really blue black tone color. There we are. Because black isn't black. Black is purples or blues. So when you see dark hair, black hair, if you look at it really closely, you can see it's quite purpley or blue. It's got a tone to it. So we've got a wonderful black color there already. So it's burnt umber and ultramarine blue makes a wonderful black. Adding a bit of white to that, just to show you the grey tone that we made. There you go. Look at that. So we got that wonderful blue black. So burnt umber and ultramarine blue will give us a lovely black indeed. So as we come in around this scale now, so let's go back into our main mix, which was our raw sienna. This is our raw sienna mix. There we go. So let's bring that down, and now let's add some crimson to that, and then we're going to redden that brown. Look at that, we're going into the red tones, the bronze tones of colour. The bronze tones, more red, the more bronze it's going to get, the more red it's going to get. There we go. We can add a little bit of burnt umber to that as well if we wanted to. We could bring that in. I'm going to bring that in that way so we can change that colour up. There we are. So I'll just add a bit of that over there. Let's add a little bit of white to that to see what that will bring us. So you can see it's going quite pinky. It's got quite a pinky, warm, reddy type of tone to it. So again, another skin tone that we can use and we can play with. We can manipulate by adding extra raw sienna to that. We can add a little bit of burnt umber to that side. We can play around with these skin tones, just by playing around with the colours that we've got. So we've got raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, and alizarin crimson, and some white. Because we can make our own blacks, so that's not a problem. So let's continue. Let's just wash this brush a bit. Let's continue to bring that down. So we've got that red tone. Let's add a little bit of ultramarine blue to that now. So we're coming into that ultramarine blue. We go into that purpley type of colour that I said as far as the blacks were concerned. The black hair that we see, a bit of we're going into that purple colour. There we are, alizarin crimson, a little bit of blue, a little bit of burnt umber. Now we're getting that lovely dark black. We can use this for hair, we can use this for animals, we can use this for portraits. But we've got that wonderful black, purpley colour. So this is that's more of a blue, this is more of a red black. So let's put that there. And let's just add a little bit of white to that and show you what I mean. Look at that, see? You could see that it's got a wonderful red tone to it. There we go. Not so much a black, but the more burnt umber we add to that, and ultramarine blue we add to that. Ultramarine blue, as we know, and burnt umber will make black. I know it looks very dark at the moment. We add a small amount of alizarin crimson to that just to darken that up. And then we got another colour that we can add just a touch of white to. There we go. It's a little bit grayer, a little bit warmer. It's a bit warmer than that. That's why I put it there for you to show you. That's definitely warmer than that. That's a lot cooler than that. So these are basically all the colours that I use if I was going to paint dark skin tones, bronze skin tones, and that. Now you can adjust that. You can use a yellow ochre with white and alizarin crimson mixed, or you can use a yellow ochre with alizarin crimson again. You can add burnt umber, cerulean blue, and that's going to take you into the light bronze tones and yellow tones. So we'll have a look at that again at another mix, but for the moment this is at the black to bronze tones. So once more we have got raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, and alizarin crimson with some white, and then we can play around with those skin tones, and we can add white to any one of these that we want to change its value like that. So you could see we can change them down to a lighter colour, and we can just paint away, and we can use that for our main portraits, black to bronze tones. So thank you very much for joining me here today. Hope that's helped, because I've been asked for darker skin tones. So next time we're going to be looking at light bronze to yellow tones. So thank you very much.
And don't forget to click subscribe.